everyone, I am James. Welcome to my channel, Jimmy Ren Reacts. We are back with Downton Abbey Season 3, Episode 9. It's the final episode of Season 3. Can't believe we're here. This episode, I have no idea what it's about. It seemed like the last episode, Episode 8, was the finale of the season. It wrapped up so nicely and neatly and happily. So I'm wondering, is this another Christmas thing or something else? Like an extra episode? I'm not really sure how Downton does it every season. I'm anxious to see what it's about. It seems like it's a longer episode, and I'm wondering if that's meant to be something special. We'll see what happens. Can't wait to finish off this crazy season. The season has been a roller coaster, to say the least. A lot of emotions, sad emotions for sure, happy emotions as well, but just a lot of drama, which is great. That's what I love about this show. That's what I love about Downton Abbey. I love the characters and all of the things that happen to them. It's really fun. It can be sad too, but overall, I'm really having a great time with this series. I'm so glad to be watching it. If you've been on this journey with me, thank you so much for your support. It means so much. If you like this video, if you like this content, please give me a like or subscribe. It would really help me out. Or you can watch full-length watch along on my Patreon, where you can also vote for what I watch next. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, it's a different beginning. 1 year later. 1 year later than the last episode? Interesting.
Anna, what have you got for hair in the evening?
Diamond stars and one tiara. We may not use it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Okay, we've got new characters, new household staff and servants.
Suitcases are finished.
Okay, I'll go up and get them now.
Do they go to Donegal every year?
Not last year, after Lady Sybil died, and not during the war. But otherwise, it's the high spot of his lordship's calendar.
I see, so they're traveling. Going fishing.
Straight onto the wagonette.
Okay, this doesn't seem like Christmas for sure. Oh my gosh, look at the baby. Little Sibby. So she's like 1 year old or something? Huh, they're working together. Thomas and Jimmy. Wow. I love this shot right in front of Downton Abbey.
Darling, this isn't 1850. No one expects me to hide indoors until the baby's born.
Oh, she's pregnant.
If you change your mind at any point and want to come home, just tell me.
Okay. Okay, looks like she's showing a little bit.
No, we'd be thrilled to see you.
Isis is still alive, that doggy.
Who was it? My editor, Michael Gregson.
Michael Gregson.
Don't tell me he'll be near Donegal.
Apparently.
What a coincidence.
Uh-huh.
Why are the Flinchers based in Scotland when the title's Welsh?
Oh, Shrimpy's grandmother was Countess of Newton Moor in her own right. It's now their courtesy title.
Dare one ask why he's called Shrimpy?
It was a nursery game. Louisa was a lobster, Agatha was a shark, which is easy to believe, and I suppose Shrimpy was a shrimp.
Is he very small?
No, but he was the youngest.
Well,
I'm sorry you won't be with us.
Why should they ask me? I don't know them at all.
Nor do I, really.
Are you sure you should be going?
Don't be a spoilsport. I still have a month.
okay, so she's like 8 months.
I think you should take good care of yourself, my lady. That's all.
I agree.
Okay. So they're going to Scotland.
Feels like a holiday, doesn't it?
Oh, don't worry. It won't feel like a holiday once we get there.
Do you like Scotland?
Have you really never been?
I didn't go last year. And you know I wasn't a proper lady's maid before that.
No, I meant as a child or when you were growing up. My mother's mother was Scottish. She was a Keith. Did I tell you that?
No.
Now, you won't forget to take her for some decent walks. She can be lazy.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
Take good care of Isis, Branson.
Do you think it's wise to leave him here unsupervised? But I don't want freedom to go to his head.
I'll keep an eye on him.
Branson? What's Branson gonna do? It's cool. They're gonna take the train and travel all together. I love trains. Bye. That's cool. Love that. That train is beautiful.
So will we have a bit of a break while they're away, Mr. Carson?
What?
No.
I don't understand. Has someone forgotten to pay your wages?
No.
Exactly. We will start with the ceremonial wear, and when that's done, I want all the silver brought down for cleaning, one room at a time.
Oh, it's gonna be busy.
You can let them have a bit of free time, can't you?
If they get the extra work done, then I'll think about it.
Oh, there's Sybil's picture.
Edna?
Why hasn't Mr. Branson been asked to go with the others? I wonder what Lady Flincher made of her cousin's daughter eloping with a chauffeur.
It's not your place to wonder.
What was she like?
She was a sweet, kind person.
She
and a
was.
real beauty.
She was.
Inside and out.
Oh, I miss Sybil.
You think she could have done better? He's nice looking. I'll give him that.
I don't think you're required to give him anything.
Is Edna brand new? I didn't really pay attention to the other maids.
It'll be very quiet for you, with them all gone.
It will. Why not come to supper tomorrow? Do come.
I don't want to be a nuisance.
You won't be. Tom Branson's here this evening, so I shall be back in training.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Is Mrs. Crawley and the doctor like? I mean, they're obviously close because they worked together for years, but they're close friends now.
It seems sad for you to be left behind all on your own.
I'm used to it.
Must be very hard.
Don't worry about me. You're the new maid, aren't you? What's your name?
Edna. Edna Braithwaite.
All right, Edna. I smell something brewing here with Edna, right? I mean, it's not by accident that she's being so nosy and flirting with him. And she said he looked, attractive. Wow, look at that castle.
Robert, how are you?
Oh,
Shrimpy,
that's
this is so nice.
That's right. Shrimpy's the cousin, right? I think.
Edith.
Hello. Daddy, this is Matthew, defender of the downtrodden, including me.
We met at your wedding, Mary.
Aunt Violet, we feel so privileged to have lured you this far north.
Oh, my dear, you flatter me.
Right. Aunt Violet's niece.
Rose, don't wear them out. We remembered how you liked our mountain look. We've arranged for luncheon to be taken up there one day.
That was my idea.
Tea is in the library when you're ready to come down.
I think Rose is like second cousins. I think it's grandma's niece, so it's grandma's siblings, children's children. So I think they're second cousins.
I'm looking for a Mrs. Patmore. I've got some deliveries for her.
Really? Where from?
Well, if you must know, I've taken over from Mr. Cox in Thirsk. Mrs. Patmore sent an order into him.
What's this?
Well, I bought the shop and all the stock, so I thought I'd take the liberty of filling it out.
It was a liberty.
So where is this order then?
Okay.
And what's your name, since you know mine?
It's Tufton, Joss Tufton.
Tofton? Tofton?
What's this?
Some vichyssoise left over from last night.
Oh, that's heaven.
That's gross.
Have a bit of the tart if you like.
Don't mind if I do. Ah.
This guy is just comfortable.
I wouldn't mind eating food like that every day.
Yeah, enough of the flannel. I'll keep the order, but if there's out amiss, you'll be hearing from me.
Well, let's just hope that there's something not quite up to scratch. Because I'd like to hear from you again, Mrs. Patmore. I would.
Be off with you cheeky devil. Come on.
He's flirting with her. I mean, I should have known, but I mean, the girls were all looking and leering and laughing, so. Okay, this is like a fun dinner.
Are you not hungry?
It's a bit early for us. We eat our dinner after the families.
Of course, you two are married, Miss Crawley. How do you manage at home, being called Bates and Bates?
We're not. They still call me Anna, like when I was a housemaid.
Which isn't right. I do so hate to see a lady's maid downgraded.
It's a treat to have a kindred spirit come to stay. It really is.
Tell Mrs. Crane I've gone up. I'll announce dinner in 10 minutes.
It's really proper in this house. Wow. Those bagpipes. Oh, Wow. This is a throwback to like pre-war. The decorum and all the pomp and wow, look at the table settings too. I mean, the lady of the house is wearing her tiara and everything.
I should remind you that he'll be back to pipe us awake at 8 o'clock.
You've no need to apologise. I'm glad to see the old ways being maintained.
Of course you are, Lord Grantham.
There's a picnic by the loch the day after tomorrow, and the Gillies Ball on Friday is always good fun.
As long as it's not too much fun.
Oh, Lord.
A friend of mine is staying quite nearby. I thought I might telephone him.
Oh, but you must ask him here.
She doesn't have to.
Oh, please do. I'd like to meet him.
Invite him to dinner tomorrow night. Unless, of course, Susan objects.
Why on earth would I object?
Because you're no fun. You sound like no fun. No wonder Rose ran away. Well, not ran away, but jeez.
Who's doing what tomorrow?
Mr. Barrow's going into Thirsk. I said Alfred should go with him.
So can they go?
I suppose so. But there's a lot to be done, and don't forget it.
Must be odd being alone in that great house.
Well, I'm not alone. There's people I know well, except they're all downstairs and I'm up.
But why not take the opportunity to spend some time with them? You've managed a very delicate transition superbly.
Thank you.
Okay.
But don't be too eager to please. You have a new identity. You are the agent of this estate. And as the agent, you have a perfect right to talk to anyone who works under you. Anyone you choose.
Okay, Mrs. Crawley, what are you stirring up?
That's quite a speech.
I mean it. You have a position now. And you're entitled to use it.
I was a bit shaken up on the train. But please don't say anything. I don't want to worry Mr. Crawley.
You don't want to give him the satisfaction, you mean?
I can't spoil his last treat before fatherhood claims him.
Oh my gosh, is she gonna have her baby early?
I'm a bit nervous about this Gillies Ball.
Why?
I suppose I just feel so English. I don't want to look a fool.
I love reeling. If I weren't pregnant, I'd dance until dawn.
But you are pregnant, my lady.
I have a feeling the baby's gonna come for some reason. I mean, they're making a big deal about her pregnancy. Oh, Lord. I love bagpipes, but man, all the time. And it is a little harsh sounding, especially if you're peacefully sleeping. Yes.
Bloody hell.
Exactly. Bloody hell.
Welcome to the Highlands.
You don't like the old ways, Lord Grantham? What's the matter? That's right.
Take your time. You're not chasing a pheasant. We must take them out for the good of the herd, but they've earned our respect and they deserve a clean death.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't suppose your father needs much practice.
His lordship was born with a rod in one hand and a gun in the other.
That sounds rather uncomfortable.
I love to hear your gilly speak. It's like a voice from a bygone age. You won't mind a foreign posting?
Why not?
Do you know where it will be?
No, but it'll be filthy and dirty, and the food will be awful, and there'll be no one to talk to for 100 square miles.
Will Rose go too?
Why? What's she been saying?
No one can accuse me of being modern, but even I can see it's no crime to be young.
I know that, Aunt Violet. But you don't see how they gang up on me.
Then I shall strive to keep the peace.
Rose's mother doesn't seem fun at all. And seems depressing. Oh my god. No wonder Rose is the way she is. Oh my gosh, look at all that silver they have to polish. Holy crap. That does not look fun at all. Oh my god. I wonder how much all that is worth.
I did. He said he'd love to come.
I'm sure he would.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I can't imagine Mr. Gregson finds himself at Donegal Castle very often, or anywhere like it.
Mary, that sounds very snobbish.
Well, what's he doing up here?
He's on a sketching holiday. He's sketching and fishing.
Fishing? Oh, well, that's something, I suppose.
Oh god, Mary. So insufferable again.
For some reason, Mary's decided to be nasty about Michael Gregson.
I was simply questioning his motives for being in the Highlands.
Oh my god. Mary, pipe down. Oh my god. I understand you're pregnant. Give her a little break, but dang. Sometimes I warm up to Mary and all of a sudden I'm like back to like, ugh, Mary. Just hate her. Well, right now I hate her. Branson just wants to be normal. Oh my god, Edna.
This is very daring. Sitting in a pub on your own?
I knew you were coming in, and I don't care about all that stuff.
Do you have the day off?
I'll fudge it, but not really.
She likes him.
When you first came back as Lady Sybil's husband, you refused to dress the part, but you do now.
I was tired of talking about my clothes every time I came down the stairs.
Yeah, was it worth
I'm
it?
still the same man inside.
Then why not join us for dinner one night, instead of eating alone?
Something gonna happen here?
Never heard of some of those spices.
I'll tell you what, we've got a fair starting here on Friday. I run a stall and so do some of the suppliers. Why not come?
What sort of fair?
Well, the usual sort of fair. Food, games, modest dancers. Have you got a minute? I'll just put a note in that bag for Mrs. Patmore.
He and Miss Patmore look good together, I think.
On Friday, can I take the afternoon off? I'll make the servants' dinner and Ivy and Daisy can serve it.
Mrs. Patmore doesn't often take the time she's allowed.
What about Mr. Branson?
I'll see to Mr. Branson. Where are you going, or shouldn't we ask?
There's a fair
A
in
date?
Thirsk. A friend of mine has asked me to meet him there.
The same fair.
I don't believe it. Must I be undermined at every turn?
Yes, you must. Carson, loosen up.
Mr. Barrow and the boys have asked to go to the same fair, and he was trying to find a way to say no.
Why don't we all go?
Mr. Gregson.
This is very kind of you, Lady Flintshire.
Not a bit. It's a pleasure to welcome a friend of dear Edith's.
What a disappointment. He looks perfectly normal.
Since he came here with the express purpose of dining at Duneagle, he obviously bought a set of tales.
Oh, God, Mary, stop. He's such a snob.
Papa, this is Mr. Gregson.
You know, I started to read your magazine because of Edith's column, but now I wouldn't miss it.
It puzzles me why you choose to employ amateurs like my daughter.
Well, is the distinction very meaningful? Surely the most important thing is whether or not people have something to say.
Yeah, it's about what they write, not who they are.
Do stand up. You're slouching like a field hand. Might I just have 5 minutes without being criticised?
We knew things were awkward between them. But now that I'm here, I don't think Susan handles it very well.
But it's so complicated with a young daughter who's full of new ideas. She thinks you're fighting her when all the time you're just frightened and...
I can understand both sides, but her mother needs to give a little bit of trust, but the daughter also needs to not be so disrespectful. I don't know about disrespectful, but...
Would you like me to take Miss Sybil up to the nursery?
Thank you.
Are you ashamed of who you are? Or of who you were? Is that why you won't eat your dinner with us?
No. It is not.
I mean, they have a lot of history, and it might be awkward for the other... for downstairs. I'm not really sure. Rose. Oh, man, smoking.
Is everything all right, my lady?
It will be, if you don't tell my mother you saw me smoking. Oh, sorry. It's just my mother has been unusually impossible this evening.
Rose? Who are you talking to? Come inside at once. Everyone's in the drawing room.
Oh, her mother seems like a delight. She always has a scowl on her face. Oh, jeez. I don't blame Rose at all now. I was like really judgmental of her, but...
It makes a welcome change from reading a medical journal and going to bed with, well, a glass of whiskey.
Goodness, I wondered what you were going to say for a moment.
Oh, are they?
I sometimes forget you were a doctor's wife. That you know what my life consists of.
It's a relief sometimes to be able to talk without having to explain oneself, isn't it?
A relief and a privilege.
Wow, romance is blossoming.
Soon.
There's a romance blossoming here, isn't there? Wow.
I thought if they knew me, if they came to like me, they might find it easier to be on my side.
To accept you?
It won't change the basic facts, though, will it?
Edith, my basic fact is that I'm in love with you.
Holy what?
You know that already.
Do I? Yes, I suppose I do.
I want you in my life.
Oh my God.
And I want to be in yours.
I just can't see a happy ending.
Why?
Edith, dear, stop fascinating that young man and come and make a four at bridge.
Stop fascinating that young man. I love that phrase.
I won't see you all day, so he'll be company.
He was right to invest in those tales, wasn't he?
Stop it, Mary. Stop it. Oh my god.
Don't dislike him before you know him.
Yeah. Oh my god, this snobbiest person ever Mary is.
Just be as nice as you are.
You think me nice, but nobody else does.
Because you're not. Well...
Because I've seen you naked and held you in my arms, and I know the real you.
Goodness, what a testimonial.
You're saying her snobbishness is an act? I think that's really who she is. She's nice when it's convenient for her. Okay?
We'd best get going. Otherwise, we're in for some stick.
Oh my gosh. Rose's mother looks miserable. She looks like a miserable person, too. Oh my gosh. I mean, is that on purpose? I'm sure it is for the show, but she always has a scowl, and she's not smiled once.
Did you see the lid? Mrs. Curley's dress shop in Ripon. She's got a fancy man. I'm telling you.
Mrs. Patmore?
Fancy
Why
man.
not? She's a woman, isn't she?
Only technically.
She deserves love too, Miss Patmore does. Wow, that's beautiful. Was this shot in Scotland too? Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that scenery. It's so green. Look at Lord Grantham with the Sherlock Holmes hat.
Take it from here.
You don't think it's too girlish?
And what's the matter with being girlish once in a while? I hope he's worth it.
Read that.
Yeah, what does he say? He must be like some poet or something.
You will allow me the honour of squiring you through the day?
Oh, no man's wanted to squire me since the Golden Jubilee.
Suppose he wants something more.
I beg your pardon?
Not that.
There is only one reason why a man his age courts a respectable woman. He finds himself in need of a wife.
Okay. So she's wanted a date, but now she's thinking it's gonna be more serious, or I don't know. Maybe I missed that. Look at that picnic.
Beer? That's very racy of you. What shall we drink to?
The future and your Scottish blood.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
What a picturesque date. Okay,
Well,
they
you
got
managed
one.
that very well. When the time comes for me to go, I'll ask them to send for you.
Is everything all right, Shrimpy? Of course, impertinent to ask.
No, it's not all right. But what's the point in talking about it?
I'm not so sure these days. The Marlboroughs have got a divorce and you still see them around. While you must have Susan next to you under the tropical sun. But
we don't like each other.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't be so shocked, Lord Grantham.
Yes?
I thought I'd come down for supper tonight.
If you'd like to, of course you'd be very welcome. We don't eat late while the family's away, so dinner will be at about 8 o'clock.
See you then.
Edna... Mrs. Hughes knows it's her doing. Look at that scenery. Oh my god. I love that. That's gorgeous.
Must be lovely to be queen of such a kingdom.
You're right. We're very lucky in this. Goodness, we weren't expecting male company for our feasting.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Okay.
Your reward will be to join the ladies' lunch.
an added bonus. I hope it's venison.
Oh, quite right. We ought to eat what we kill.
Rose, stop talking nonsense and tell McCree to lay 2 more places.
I mean, I see why she's miserable, because her husband's not really nice to her either, so...
Why don't you come fly fishing tomorrow? You might see a bit more activity. You could bring your evening clothes, change at Donegal. It's rather an imposition. That's what you're here for, isn't it? To get to know us all. Besides, you didn't bring your tails all the way to Scotland to dine in a country pub. No. No, I suppose not.
Look at that view. Amazing. Wow. That's like a postcard.
Her ladyship would like a word.
Why? What does she want with me?
She wants to make a fuss like she always does.
Okay. What do you mean?
Oh, Brian. It's just that Wilkins here isn't quite able to understand what I'm getting at when I'm describing the shape of Lady Grantham's hair.
Oh, understand, my lady. It's just...
Could you help her? You'll know exactly what I mean.
Well, it's a question of body, my lady.
I knew you'd have the answer.
If I could...
Oh, please, please, please.
Oh gosh, this is causing a conflict between these two lady maids, between Wilkins and O'Brien.
Bombay. That sounds rather modest for a marquis.
I don't know about that. All I do know is it's going to be very hot.
Will you take Rose?
I don't think we should, but Susan might discuss it.
Unless you want her married to a third-rate colonial official with no money and bad teeth, Susan had better think again.
I know that Mummy and I will drive each other mad. You mustn't be too hard on your mother. You know it's natural for her to be concerned. Concerned? Is that what she is? I'm sure she loves you very much.
He's what?
It's only meant to be friendly.
Good evening, Mr. Carson. I don't expect you to approve.
Well, now come along in.
That glare from Carson is always like damning. Oh my god.
I hope you won't show an example of rudeness to the younger staff.
Carson... She told me the servants have got up a party for the Thirsk Fair, and I was wondering if you'd like to go. I could drive us over for an hour or two. I'm told they do it well.
Why not? It might be fun.
Good. I'll come for you at 5.
I didn't expect that matchup, seriously.
You don't want to come to the fair?
I would sooner chew broken glass.
I admire Carson for knowing that they wouldn't have fun, so he's just gonna stay. I get that.
But what about you? Did you enjoy your day?
Oh, I was stupid to go to the picnic. We were shaken about in that trap like dice in a cup.
Stay in bed for the morning. And take it easy at the ball. I've been planning a bit of a surprise for Mr. Bates.
Why? What sort of surprise?
No, it's a surprise for you too.
Is it like an outfit, a dress, or something like that?
Don't forget what I said.
What was that?
Just that I've promised to rest tomorrow, which is annoying because I'd rather come out with you and interrogate.
Yeah, but you're annoying. You're annoying, Mary. You're annoying.
But he's quite opaque.
A man of mystery. Edith could use some of that.
You are horrid when you want to be.
Seriously.
You love me, don't you?
Ugh.
Madly.
She is horrid all the time right now. She does it on purpose, just to get under people's skin, I think. Oh my god. Oh, they're dancing. Okay, I got it.
And then round in a figure of 8.
Okay, I don't know Scottish dancing. Something for the ball, obviously. So yeah.
Funny thing with Mr. Barrow is he won't hear a bad word about you.
What? What have I done?
Only meant he won't let anyone speak against you.
What on earth is going on in here?
We were just...
You were just taking advantage of the cat's absence. We'll see what Mr. Carson has to say.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Stark can easily drive us.
Because I'm so high and mighty.
You're part of the family now. There's nothing false in that. Because if someone is trying to make you feel awkward, they're in the wrong, not you.
He wants to connect again. He feels awkward with these new roles, right? Well, she's kind of out of place, Edna, for saying all that.
Don't worry about that, Lucy. You can look after the stall, can't you, Lucy? I hope you don't mind my saying so, Mrs. Patmore, but in that blouse, you look as though you just stepped off the pages of Vogue.
I don't believe you, but I don't mind you saying it at all. Hey, Mrs. Hughes?
Oh, you're generous with compliments.
I love to be in love, Mrs. Hughes. I'll not deny it. Any time, any place, I love to be in love.
Oh, get away with you, you daft beggar.
Oh, my gosh. Awkward. Look at Mrs. Hughes. She's, like, horrified. This looks fun. Wow, look at these rides. That's so cool.
Right. I quit on the Downton team.
Look at Miss Patmore.
Tufton's at your service.
Tofton looks like he can hold his own.
He needed a bit of muscle, so they sent for Tufton. Go on, feel that muscle.
Oh my
That's my name,
god.
Josh Tufton. You see that stall over there with the spices on?
Strain!
Come on.
Does the law expect me to have no life at all until I die? Would Lord Grantham? You can't expect him to want you to involve his own daughter. Not when all you have to offer is a job as your mistress. No, I'm offering my love. You've been misled by our surroundings. We're not in a novel by Walter Scott.
They won. They won.
Downton team, the winner.
Oh, that guy's pissed.
Edith gave me the impression you were a freer soul than that. I find that hard to believe.
I think he's a pragmatist, like he just knows the reality of things.
Can't imagine I would let Edith slide into a life of scandal without lifting a finger to stop.
You're saying I should leave now? Not stay for the ball?
No. Use it to say a proper goodbye. You owe her that.
Edith is so unlucky in love. Edith deserves love too, but she seems very unlucky in love. Oh my gosh, look at Miss Patmore. Oh my god, look at Edna. Look at Mrs. Hughes.
Let's have a drink. What's the matter?
I want to go, but Daisy thinks it's too expensive.
Oh, have it on me. Yeah, one go for each of them.
Are you drunk?
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. How kind of you.
It is kind. Don't flash your money about.
It's my money, one fair and square. I'll do what I want with it.
You're gonna get robbed.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Wow, he's a flirt.
Shall we sit down for a bit?
Let me fetch you a drink. There's something I want to ask you. Punch?
That would be lovely.
Wow. I never knew that was gonna happen. Oh my gosh, Jimmy's faded. He's drunk as hell.
Did you make this pate as well?
All with my own fair hand.
Well, fair hand or red flipper. You're the cook for me.
Does he just want like a caretaker to like be married to and she can take care of him? Oh my gosh, dude, you're gonna get jumped.
Where do you think you're going, Milado?
Get out of the way.
Take him.
Let him go.
And who's going to make me? I am.
Run at me, Jimmy! Run!
Oh my god. Thomas, you stuck your neck out for that guy and you're getting your ass beat. Oh my god. Dr. Clarkson. He needs some liquid bravery. Liquid courage.
What was it you wanted to ask me?
Well,
If you'd like me to come back to the hospital, I was thinking...
No, it's not the hospital.
I'd be interested to know if you've ever thought of marrying again.
Well, with good friends like you, I enjoy my life as it is, and I wouldn't want to risk things by changing it.
She likes being single.
Doctor! Doctor, you've got to come now.
What is it?
It's Thomas, please.
He got beat up. Whoa.
Rose, you are not wearing that dress, and that is final.
Oh, Daddy, please stick up for me.
She looks like a slut.
It's not a word you often hear among the heather.
But Princess Mary has one just like it. It's the fashion now.
Then it is a mad fashion.
Rose, take Aunt Violet through to the ballroom. Now.
Don't blame me if she is the object of ridicule.
I won't. Whatever else I might blame you for.
You are a fool to indulge her. Have you never stopped?
No, you stop! Stop making everyone so unhappy all the bloody time!
Oh my god.
Forgive me. I think I know where I'm going.
I'll come with you.
Yeah, she is making everyone miserable.
But why did you get into a fight? It's not like you. Is anything broken?
I don't think so.
So you'll be all right?
You're to get him home.
I'll fetch the wagonette.
I'll help him.
Jimmy, you gotta tell them what happened. Hopefully this makes them have peace together. The baby.
Hello? What's the matter with you? Where's your nut? Oh,
no.
Let's have a little chat about it. Eh?
Oh, that's so sweet.
I can manage an eightsome and the dashing white sergeant, but that's about it.
Well, I'm very good. Hamilton House is my favourite, but I know most of them.
But you won't be doing any tonight.
Spoil sport.
I think Mr. Crawley's right, milady.
Will you be staying out of it?
We'll have to see.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're back then.
We are. And we've a few stories to tell. But you've spent your day more productively, I see.
I was thinking about Lady Sybil when she was this age.
All we can do for her now is to cherish her bairn. And it's lovely to watch you doing just that.
Carson looks good with a baby.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Those cups are super nice. Sorry. That's gotta be super strong. Did you see how much he poured in there?
Do you want it?
No. I wouldn't drink that if I were you, Miss.
Oh no. Mosley.
I think I'll get another one.
Mosley is not good with alcohol, remember?
Was it always as bad?
Not at the beginning. We weren't madly in love. But there was a job to be done, and we both believed in it. Then the children came along, and first James left, and then Annabelle got married. We started to learn just how little we had in common.
Huh. Grantham's reflecting on his own marriage, I think, too.
Why
maybe.
is Susan so hard on Rose?
Perhaps Rose reminds her of me, as I used to be, when I had something to live for.
Oh, you have a great deal to live for. Donegal, I can't remember being as envious as I have been these past few days.
Don't be. It'll all have to go.
What?
If I'd had any gumption and modernized as you did, but I sat on my hands as the money drained away.
Huh. This is a warning.
Now it's all gone.
This is a warning to you, Lord Grantham.
What will you do?
Go to India first, and then London. Oh, it'll be all right. Susan and I needn't see too much of each other.
Shrimpy, my dear chap, I'm so sorry.
What are we going to do about Rose?
Absolutely.
Come on, this is it.
This is what?
You'll see. Quick, come on.
Look at Anna. She never said she'd get real. Bates, did you know?
No, my lady. I never knew.
But isn't she marvellous?
She is marvelous. Look at Bates. He's so proud.
She is marvelous.
That's how you should look at your lady. Very proud, very happy. She's proud of herself. That's great.
Oh, Mrs. Patmore, how kind of you.
I want a word, so I thought we could have some tea while I get it. He says he loves me and he can't live without me.
Oh, dear.
What do you mean, oh dear?
I don't know how to say it.
We'll find a way.
Poor Miss Patmore.
He was flirting with that young assistant and stroking her bottom. What? It's true. Then I saw him making eyes at some other women when he was pulling in the tug-of-war.
While I was cheering him.
And later, when I was with Alfred, I saw Mr. Tufton in the crowd, and he seemed to be chewing the mouth off some poor woman.
Where was I all this time?
Oh, Mrs. Patmore, I am sorry. I don't know if he wanted to eat a few dinners before he told you the truth, or if he planned to marry you and chain you to the stove.
Either way, it was the cooking he was after. Not me.
Oh, that's so sad.
I should have pulled you away then and there, but you were having such a good time.
Oh. Oh my God. Miss Patmore. I feel so sad for her.
Because I've never felt more relieved in all my life.
Really?
The more he said about how he liked his beef roasted and his eggs fried and his pancakes flipped, the more I wondered how to get away.
And what if he comes back?
Well, he'll get a thick ear and no mistake. But how could he do such a thing, Mrs. Hughes? How could he lead a poor woman on like that?
He loves to be in love.
Yeah, he's just kind of a player. Alright, I'm glad that things are turning out okay.
How disappointing.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you till I was leaving.
Why not?
I wanted us to have a last evening together.
This is not our last evening.
Isn't it?
If you asked me before tonight how I felt about you, I'm not sure what I would have answered. But now I'm absolutely sure. And this is not our last evening.
Okay. They're together for love. Not because it's the title or the societal fit or another gentleman or whatever, but Mosley is drunk.
Are you proud of your handiwork?
I don't know what you mean.
Wow.
They do say there's a wild man inside all of us.
If only he would stay inside.
No, I love seeing Mosley like this. I mean, he's probably, yeah, he's embarrassing himself, of course. Okay, shirtless Branson.
I thought you'd like to know Mr. Barrow is feeling much better.
Why burst in like...
Just wanted to tell you what a lovely day I've had. Really lovely. Do you meet for lunch tomorrow in the Grantham Arms?
Wow, she just burst in on him shirtless. That's crazy. Uh-oh. She's gonna go into labor, isn't she? It keeps coming up, her pregnancy, so I feel like she's gonna go into labor. And this is how this episode's gonna go. They're having fun. They're having so much fun. This is really cool to see, actually. Okay. Susan is finally smiling. First time I've seen her smile the whole episode, I think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't think I should have done that, but I couldn't resist.
Which is just what I was afraid of.
Calm down. Everything's fine. But I wonder, would you mind terribly if I went home tomorrow?
Of course not. I'll tell Shrimpy tonight that we're leaving.
No, not you. You must stay here.
What do you mean? I don't want to let you out of my sight.
But if you come, Mama and Papa will think they have to leave and the party will break up.
Well, so what? I'm coming with you.
But it's very unfair on Susan and Shrimpy when I'm perfectly all right. It's only a couple more days. Let me go and I'll see you when I see you.
Stop. Stop. After what happened to Sybil?
Lady Mary and Anna are coming back today. They're already on the train.
Well, we'd better look sharp. Edna, air the room and make up the bed while I go and talk to Mrs. Patmore.
Must I?
Yes, you must.
Do you have other plans, Edna?
Yeah, she got a hot date.
I said I'd meet Tom Branson for lunch in the village.
Did you indeed? Tom Branson?
Tom? Oh, God.
Before you start, it may not be his fault.
Whether it's his fault or not, she has to go.
Oh, yes. Of course, she has to go.
Yeah. You can't be doing that.
Rose is proving quite an education.
I can imagine.
I find myself worrying about Rose before I even open my eyes for the morning. Do you think I'm being stupid?
Not at all. I understand better than anyone else here could.
Shrimpy wants her to live at Downton while we're in India.
I've told Robert I would never agree to that against your wishes.
I know, but I wonder now if he isn't right. And that we need a rest from one another. But would you be prepared for all that?
If you want me to be, and only if you want it.
I mean, Rose is a grown-up. A young grown-up, but So Rose is like the replacement for Sybil?
Will you speak well of me to her? Not every day.
Of course she will.
But sometimes.
Of course I will, I promise.
Of course she will.
Can I ask one thing? That you give her a decent reference?
I will, though I don't think she's cut out to be a housemaid. Would you allow me to speak as I would have in the old days? You let Edna make you ashamed of your new life. But you've done well. And Lady Sybil would be so proud.
Hmm.
I can't bear to be without her.
He's still grieving.
You must bear it. And one day I hope, and so would she, you'll find someone to bear it with you. But until then, be your own master and call your own tune.
This actor who plays Branson is really good. I really like him.
Thank you.
Let me help you with those.
Come on. Mary, you know something's wrong.
Milady? Is something the matter?
I don't want to alarm anyone, but would you leave the cases here for now and take me straight to the hospital?
What?
Let Mrs. Crawley know and get a message to Mr. Crawley straight away.
Uh-oh. Something bad gonna happen? Is she gonna lose her baby? I mean, she doesn't look like she's in labor, but she definitely seems like she feels something is not right.
Mr. Crawley! What in God's name?
It's your wife. Oh my god, are they gonna lose their baby?
The whole family is coming back tomorrow, and we must be ready to receive them.
Is it because Lady Mary's in the hospital?
It is.
Does that mean she's in danger?
Lady Mary will be perfectly fine.
I can't wait to get home. I'm glad I was jealous of Shrimpy. It's made me realize what a fool I've been. Downton will survive because of Matthew's vision.
I'm so pleased to hear you say it.
You always knew how lucky we are in Matthew, and now I give thanks for him, as I give thanks for my home and my family. And most of all, I give thanks for my wife.
Wow. Have they healed their marriage?
And thank you for taking in Rose.
I'm glad to have her now. I know it's what you both want.
What I want is for her to know that family can be a loving thing. Love is like riding or speaking French. If you don't learn it young, it's hard to get the trick of it later.
Well said, Shrimpy. And good luck.
That's really profound.
I'll see you at Downton very soon. And thank you both so much.
We look forward to it.
Rose is so happy. There's such a stark difference between the staff and household at Donegal versus Downton, because Downton has changed a lot, and then Donegal is like how Downton used to be. Even their attitudes and demeanor and style, everything.
According to the doctor, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, of course I worry. After Lady Sybil, how could I not worry?
Get Mr. Matthew's car taken to the station and have the others brought here. Mr. Matthew can drive himself to the hospital and come back with the news when he's ready.
Yes, good, very good. And Anna, thank you.
Anna has it all under control. She is calm and cool.
I wish Matthew were here. I feel as if I'm only half myself without him.
He'll be on the train by now, and you won't want him in the room till it's all over. You can trust me.
Don't worry,
I shouldn't
Mary.
have gone up north. How could I be so stupid?
My dear, the baby will be perfectly well.
It's so crazy how different things are nowadays versus back then in terms of delivery and labor and all that stuff. Okay, Jimmy, are you gonna make up with Thomas? Be at peace with each other? Oh, look at Thomas. He's in rough shape. Look at his face. Holy crap.
What are you doing up here?
Come on, just thank him and apologize.
You were brave, Mr. Barrow.
Just thank him.
I feel badly. I shouldn't have run off. I can never give you what you want.
I understand that. I do. And I don't ask for it. But I'd like it if we could be friends.
It's gonna be tough. I don't know. I guess they can be friendly.
If that's all, I think I could manage that.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
Something read the paper. 420 York to that.
I'm glad that they're okay now, but...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
Good news?
That was Mrs. Crawley. It's over. Lady Mary's very tired, but she's come through it. They both have.
Thank the Lord. What about the baby?
What about it?
What sex is it?
Oh, I never thought to ask.
It's a boy, right? It's gotta be a boy.
Can this hot and dusty traveller come in?
They had their baby.
Say hello to your son and heir.
They had a boy. Oh my god. Look at that. They have a son. Wonder what his name
my
is.
dearest little chap. My darling, how are you? Really?
Tired and pretty relieved. But just think, we've done our duty. Downton is safe. Papa must be dancing a jig.
I'm dancing a jig. You are going to be such a wonderful mother.
How do you know?
Because you're such a wonderful woman.
I hope I'm allowed to be your Mary Crawley for all eternity.
Do you ever wonder how happy you've made me? I want to tell you that I fall more in love with you every day that passes.
I'll remind you of that next time I scratch the car.
Do.
Where are the others?
Back at the house. Panting to see you both. But I've sent Mother to keep them at bay. I wanted a chance to be alone with my family.
Oh, that's sweet.
You better go and tell them.
Oh, that's a sweet baby.
These things are always rather nerve-wracking, but all's well that ends well, and it won't be long before you'll be able to say hello to your very own grandson.
My grandson. Oh, my dear, how sweet and miraculous that sounds. Life is strange, isn't it?
In so many different ways.
I think of all the uncertainty between Matthew and Mary, or when the money was lost, and everything was so dark. Yet now here we are with 2 healthy heirs, an estate in good order, and I wonder what I've done to deserve it.
Uh-oh.
I agree.
What's that?
But then we don't always get our just desserts.
Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh my god. No frickin' way.
You better go down. They'll be here in a minute.
What?
And tell Mr. Matthew he must wait his turn.
Oh.
He's seen the baby, and they haven't.
No. Oh my god. Oh my god. He looks dead. He looks dead. I mean, I don't think he's hurt. He's dead. God. You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I knew things were just going too well. Oh my god. The hell? Oh my god. I can't. I just can't anymore. What the F? Wow. That was episode 9 of season 3 of Downton Abbey, and what the fuck? What the hell? I did not see that coming at all at the end. I don't know. I just can't. I mean, I just can't. I thought it was bad when Sybil died, and Matthew, he looks dead. That doesn't look like an injury. He's dead. I'm shocked. I am truly shocked. Did not see that coming at all. I thought it was gonna be like Mary has a miscarriage, or she has the baby and the baby dies, or something like that. Things were really happy. They had a son, an heir. It was like too perfect. I can't believe this. I am really shocked. I'm truly shocked at what's happened. How long did you have to wait to see the next season, season 4 of Downton Abbey, after this happened? Because this is a cliffhanger like no other. They just showed the car in a wreck and him looked like he's dead, and everyone's oblivious. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. It is the end of the season. I wrote down a few things that I wanted to maybe talk about, but after seeing that last scene, it just has messed everything up in my head. I don't don't even know where to start. So you have to forgive me if I having trouble remembering what I was going to talk about. That last episode, overall, it was really good. I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but the writing was really good. Just looking back at the season, it has been a wacky, crazy season of twists, turns, ups, downs, mostly downs, actually. The last 2 episodes were fairly happy, except for what happened to Matthew, of course. In terms of characters, I'll talk about like my least favorite and most favorite. My least favorite overall was Robert. Lord Grantham himself. He is what represents the old guard, the old way of doing things, pre-war thinking, tradition, and way things are done in the aristocracy. He was really stubborn, not just in how to run the estate, but his views on the world, his views on the role of people in society, especially with regards to the aristocracy and common folk, I guess. What really frustrated me was his resistance to change with the world and change with how people were thinking after the war. It seemed like a lot of the family was looking forward, and it seemed like they were open to change. Matthew coming in and suggesting ways to improve the way things are run so that Downton can last by modernizing, by changing the way things are operating. That seemed very reasonable, but Lord Grantham was just resisting, and I forgot who called him out for it. I think it was Mary. He was angry, not because of what happened with Sybil or Tom or whatever. He was angry that things were changing and that he couldn't control that, and that was all manifesting through all of his relationships, especially his marriage being on the rocks with Cora. That was just another manifestation of the state that he was in, and everything is in discord. My favorite has definitely been the Dowager Countess. You would think that she, being even older than Lord Grantham, she would be even more resistant, but she adapts to the times, to people, to situations. She's like a master strategist. And you would think also that her being a woman, she would have disadvantages because women have less rights and their place in society is not equal. She finds a way to make things happen, and she's funny. I love the Dowager Countess. She is funny, she is witty, she is smart, and she is sharp. In the beginning, I was really skeptical and distrusting of her, but I've really grown to love Granny, and she's by far my favorite character of all of the bunch. Some memorable moments, I feel like Edith's wedding was shocking. Anthony Strallan, he seemed to fit the bill in every aspect on paper. He was a gentleman, he had property, he had money. He wasn't the right age, I guess, but he wasn't like a decrepit old man. He had a disability. What he did wasn't right, and he really messed up, but he seemed like he really loved her, at least at one point. Maybe it was for the better because it also seemed like Edith was settling for him. So I don't know if it was necessarily the greatest match, because Edith was unlucky in love and she saw all of her sisters, everyone around her getting married, having babies and things like that. So I don't blame her, but I blame Strallan for leading her on and then leaving her at the altar. That's messed up. Another memorable moment, of course, was Sybil's death. Wow, that was shocking, and I'm still sad about that because Sybil was my favorite character, along with Granny, but Sybil was my favorite sister at the very least, and she was kind, she was compassionate, she was forward thinking, just a nice person. I'm really sad that she's gone. It seems like they're getting Rose to be the new Sybil since she's departed the show, so Rose is gonna come to Downton and she's gonna fill that role, that vacuum that Sybil has left. Mrs. Hughes and her cancer, well, her possible cancer, and her relationship with Carson, that was another highlight. I really loved how Carson and Mrs. Hughes, they have a deep friendship. Of course, they've worked together for years, but they really care about each other and they can talk with each other honestly. They are like the mother and father figure of everyone there, and they kind of balance each other out because Mrs. Hughes is like compassionate and understanding and softer, although she is stern. She can be stern when she has to be. And Carson is more by the book. He likes things to be done properly. He values tradition and he's very conservative, which is not a bad thing, but he represents that, and I think it's a good balance. What I particularly liked about the relationship is that things could go unsaid and they could care for each other. Like when Carson did not know what was going on and he had to find out through a mediator like Miss Patmore, he could do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's representing British culture, that you don't really say things out loud and brashly, and you kind of have an understanding. Especially you have to read the room. Reading the room and knowing what's going on without being too forward and out there and standing out and being rude is part of the culture, I think, at least for the show and for the time. And even though they are friends and they care about each other, that's how they had to talk to each other other, like indirectly. They were very indirect, but they wanted to get to the bottom of things, so they somehow were able to communicate. The care that they had for each other was clear. Carson was so happy and singing and humming, and after he found out that Mrs. Hughes was going to be okay, and that was really heartwarming and touching to me. I really liked that. The other thing that was more memorable near the end of the season was Rose and her mother. I can understand from both sides. Rose's mother being so concerned and a little bit overbearing, but she was frankly very miserable. She didn't smile once except when they started dancing. Her husband scolded her, really, which was not great. He was fed up and he just was like, why do you have to make everyone so sad all the time? And that was not great. Maybe that jolted her to think Rose should stay out of India and stay back in England at Downton Abbey. I could see how that fits the show because they need someone to replace Sybil. I'm assuming she comes back for season 4 and plays a big part of the show. Can't blame Tom for still grieving. I really like the actor. I forgot his name, but he's really good, especially the scene where Sybil dies. That was a great job by him acting wise, and then when he broke down in front of Mrs. Hughes, I thought he did a good job, and I really felt bad for the character of Tom. Matthew, I can't believe he's dead. What the hell? I thought he was going to be in the show for the rest of the whole series. I'm assuming he's dead. He looked dead. He was still, his eyes were open and he was bleeding out of his ear, and I really doubt he's alive. I think he's dead. Maybe that's obvious to everyone else, but I mean, I don't know. Dramatic things happen in these kind of stories, so it seems like he's dead, and that's what they implied by everyone being oblivious and they're going to be shocked. I wonder what's going to happen in the first episode of season 4. And I guess I'll kind of wrap up with some of the lessons I've learned through these first 3 seasons, particularly this season. But I've been learning a lot about English culture, how things were in the aristocracy, especially this time period after the Industrial Revolution and after World War I, this time where aristocracies and these great houses were in trouble. Some of them were going away, and that's exemplified through this last episode with Donegal and Lord Grantham. He was initially like glad to see old traditions and the old ways of things going on, but after it was revealed to him that Donegal was gonna be gone, he realized it was good that he gave in to Matthew and Tom and their modernization of Downton Abbey and the whole estate. Even the staff and the pomp and the circumstance and the costumes and the demeanor of the household, the staff, it was reminiscent of how things were like back in season 1. It was very proper. It was very much that time period before the war. People were wearing all of their finery. Susan was wearing her tiara and the table setting. It was just very ornate. That represented to me the old ways of doing things. Lord Grantham saw the stark difference between that and how far he had come at Downton, how they had all changed with the times. Whereas in Scotland at Donegal, things are kind of in a time capsule. So I thought that was really well done, how they brought that contrast to the viewers, and you can see how far things have come, that Matthew was right. I'm glad that Lord Grantham finally saw that he was right. The other lesson is from Lord Grantham and Cora. They had a rough time in their marriage. That's understandable because their daughter had died. Very traumatic death. And of course, Cora blamed Robert. Yes, I think that Robert, he made a mistake. I can't really say that he did on purpose. He thought he was doing the right thing, but he really did make a mistake by not trusting the doctor that knew her best and medical facts. Also putting value on the other doctor. He was knighted and he was from the aristocracy, I think. He put more value in that than someone who was a medical professional that knew his daughter really well. I thought that that whole thing was going to ruin them, but the lesson is that you can blame them, but if you keep doing that, you're never going to move on and forgive each other and be able to grow together and heal your relationship. Also, you can't grieve because you're just blaming. You have to be able to let go of that at some point and grieve together and then move on. If their marriage was going to survive, I don't think they would got divorced because that just doesn't happen for people like them, but they would have ended up like the Donegal couple, Shrimpy and Susan. That seems horrible. I don't think that would have happened in terms of the writing for the show, but you can see how they put a contrast there, not just the Donegal versus Downton Abbey, but the couple, Shrimpy and Susan versus Robert and Cora. That was clear and easy to see. That was a great way to end because after 3 seasons, it's easy to kind of think that Downton has always been the same and Carson is always trying to hang on to the old ways and his standards, but you can see through the contrast between Donegal and Downton Abbey that Downton Abbey has changed a lot with the times. It's done well. It's made the right choices with the help of Matthew. That's what makes the departure of Matthew even more tragic because he set it all up for success. They had a son, which was like totally right, as Mary said, their duty, and now they produced an heir, but now Matthew's gone, and that is the tragedy of it all. He had done everything right. He had fallen in love with Mary and Mary with him, and they were happy and they had the baby, and now it's all gone. Well, it's not all gone, but that happiness is all gone. I can't believe what happened with him. I I assume that it's going to be devastating. I don't know, even more than Sybil, but it's going to be just as devastating. And I wonder how things are going to move on. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, those are my thoughts on season 3 and of the series so far. I really want to thank you for going along on this journey with me. It's been full of ups and downs, sadness, happiness, excitement, laughs. But overall, I really am enjoying this series. It really is like a soap opera, but I love it. It's really entertaining. Sometimes I feel like crying, but I don't. Probably because I watched too much Game of Thrones and my heart is stone and callous now and I can't cry anymore. I still feel sad and devastated when things like that happen. Please don't feel like I'm not affected by it. I am. I've kept it under control for the most part. I love this show. I love this series. I love all the characters. I'm really sad that some of them have departed. I want to see where they are now in terms of the acting careers and what they're doing. Otherwise, I can't wait to get to season 4. I'll take a short break before I jump into season 4. Thank you so much for your support. All of you have been here with me on this Downton journey. If you like this video, please give me a like or subscribe. And of course, you can watch the full-length reaction on my Patreon, where you can also vote for what I watch next. Now with that, I'll leave you. Bye now.